Will Gerrit Cole turn it up tonight in the Bronx versus his old team, the Astros? Will the Dodgers avoid a road sweep at the Braves tonight with Yamamoto on the bump? Find out now on MLB Bases Loaded. A huge card on Slate today.
15-game card. It's us versus the bookies. Bases loaded, high noon. It's going to be a showdown.
On a suddenly not so casual Friday, the buy hat is engaged. Two questions asked, answers to be found. It is Thursday, August the 27th. 2026 MLB Bases Loaded. I am the Shark. He is Mikey Money. Mike, what's going on this morning?
Man, we are there, you guys. We have Thursday, and you know the deal. The Thursday is connected to Friday. That means we are in weekend mode. We are the shuttle to your weekend, and it's week 0 for college football, man. I'm fired up. I got my card ready to roll. You know, I tracked it, too. I put some numbers out there and saw that the lines are moving in that direction. So either I'm ahead of the steam or I'm going to get really messed up here. But you know what's messed up is the beating we've been putting on the bookies these last couple of days here. The show is finding its form. Listen, I went 4-0 on sides yesterday. I gave you guys the Guardians, the Padres, the first 5 under in the Miami game, and the over 8.5 in that Houston game. I did push the Cubs first 5. They did go on to lose, but a push ain't a loss. So that was a sweep. I lost, unfortunately, my player props in Bobby Witt and Corey Seager. But hey, man, listen. Flip side, Shark, you rolled 4-2 for the squad, man. You had Arizona, Phillies, Colorado, and the Brewers. Big winning day. That's a couple in a row here. Let's see if we can string together another one here because it's a small card, but I feel like sometimes that's where we do our best work. What do you think about that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the project of baseball is so gigantic. We kind of take it for granted. I mean, we ripped through 60 minutes, 15 games. Guys, that's an NFL Sunday, 5 days a week in Major League Baseball through the summer. So 7 games we're going to really hone in. It kind of feels like an NBA show for me. And I certainly love that. And Mike, I love the profit from yesterday. I actually took a loss on the Red Sox, my top play. But after the fact, I looked back and I said, the Red Sox were maybe partying overnight in Miami. Give them a break. But we did break even on that side. But I'm fired up. You guys are in the chat here. It is the final Thursday of August, guys. It's hot. It is arduous. It's been a long summer, but great times await. As Mike said, we get college football just 48 hours from now on Saturday. It will be about kickoff in Dublin, Ireland. But if you guys are on the chat on the East Coast, get in here and hang out with us. Let us know you're in the building. And if you guys are on the West Coast, get that coffee and get ready to dominate. Let's get down to some business on it. Suddenly not so casual. August the 27th, 2026. 7-game card, 6 getaway games, 2 matinees, and the first one, we're going straight business. We're going 1 hour from now. Rockies, Nats Park. Game 7 of this season, 4th game of this series, final game of the season between these teams. We've seen the Rockies clean up the Nats in the previous 2 games, Mike. This afternoon, we get Gabriel Hughes on the bump at Jake Irvin. Good game, in my opinion, to handicap. What's going on here?
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Nationals. I'm going to keep it short and sweet because I got to send this one around the horn here. But this comes down to Gabriel Hughes Day, and he's the new Patrick Corbin of baseball. So you want to fade this guy. You've been profitable doing it. I know on the road, and look, they just got slapped around like a bunch of little you-know-whats here. It's got to be bounce-back spot for these guys. And so statistically, baseball tells you that a couple of things. Rockies on the road against righties are a fade. They do struggle in that spot, and it's been historic. It's been over the last 7 years. Frankly, Gabriel Hughes is the starting pitcher. They're 7-1. So I'm going to go with the Nats in the first 5. I'm going to try to avoid that bullpen. I think that the Nats, as much as I'm not psyched about the squad themselves, CJ Abrams came back out there. He does have great numbers against Gabriel Hughes. So I'll start her off. We'll take a little -133. Take these boys here. What say you, Shark?
Well, I got rid of the White Sox yesterday officially on the show, and you guys know who my new buy team is. It's the Rockies. I can't go away from my guys, and I'm going back to business. Gabriel Hughes. Mike called you Patrick Corbin. Get fired up, dude. It's time to ball out on the road. And, when I was handicapping this game before, I saw exactly what people are talking about here. Hughes on the road has looked terrible. He's 1-3 straight up, 20 earned runs in 19 innings pitched. That is a 9.47 ERA. But here is the caveat. Yesterday, I told you pitcher for the Mets, Robert Stock, was a word I like to use, inflated, meaning a guy is pitching better than his numbers suggest. This guy is deflated peripherally. He is due to improve. Of those runs on the road, it absolutely is insane. 20 earned runs on only 30 base runners. Mike, when I was looking at this before, I thought to myself, that is one of the biggest anomalies I've seen all season. If that was the norm across Major League Baseball, if 67% of runners on base scored, the average final score of every game would reach about 40 runs. So this guy is going to improve immensely. And if you go through his starts, he actually did have 2 good road starts before 2 really poor ones at Arizona and San Francisco. He held the Dodgers on the road to only 3 earned runs, and the Padres on the road to only 3 earned runs. And speaking of efficiency, Hughes did actually face off against the Nats at home on a Wednesday in July the 22nd and lose 8-0. Why did the Nats win that game? 2 words, Cade Cavalli. I told you guys this throughout this entire series. The only time you buy the Nats is if Cavalli's on the bump. He won game 1. The Rockies won game 2. They exploded for 13 runs in the final 3 innings last night. I think that's going to be the same story here. You want to fade Jake Irvin? He's a better road pitcher. And final point on this, in terms of group psychology, I think the Rockies are having fun, honestly. You talk about good group psychology. We're not talking about the Dodgers or the Brewers trying to get to the World Series. But within these young teams, you want to have a good vibe in your clubhouse. Like, we're going to go somewhere with this group maybe next year. I think that's the current state of the Rockies. They're about 500 on the road in the last 2 months, far better than their overall project suggests. I think after last night, just unloading with the home run ball, Goodman and these boys are going to come out, have some fun, and really clean up this afternoon. Mike, I was joking before to myself. It's the 7th game of the year. They're tied 3-3. It's MLB bases loaded. We make every game a big game. This is game 7. Rockies Nats this afternoon at 1 o'clock, Mike. Rockies for me. You're definitely on the Nats. That's confirmed, or just the first 5?
I got the first 5 here. I think I'll probably get to the full game as well here. I just don't see it. I hear what you're saying, but it's Hughes. There's just too many peripheral factors here that just tell me that it's not sustainable. And we showed that yesterday. Now, it was a beatdown yesterday, and I do believe that with those factors out there, we can find ourselves a rally spot. So shout out to Nine Legacy. Says, let's get it, baby. Today's my birthday, so let's get some wins today. And MMA Locker Room Mills. My guy Mills in the house, man. He says, easy to hate, hard to show love. Smack the like. Let's go. Let's go, Mills. Shout out to you, man. Appreciate all you guys. Nine Legacy, happy birthday to you, my friend. Let's roll, man. Let's have ourselves a day, boys.
Yeah, and just interesting because, Mike, we've talked about Hughes a couple times. He is a rookie pitcher coming from Gonzaga. This is actually his first career start road outside of the division, interestingly enough. So you talk about kind of a one-off here. Should be interesting. Rockies for me. Mike likes the Nats. If you guys are telling the Rockies, type Rockies in the chat. If you're telling the Nats, type Nats. And if you're feeling the good vibes, like our guy MMA says, click the like button and wish our guy a happy birthday. And let's keep it moving. Next game on the card, second matinee on this afternoon's card. 2 to be exact. This is the second one, 2:15 in St. Louis. Orioles Cardinals, third game of this series. Last night, absolute insanity, Mike. We were joking about it overnight. Mike and I were texting about some of the games, and I said, what an absolute disaster of a series. Somehow, the Orioles go up 7-0 in the game last night, give it all the way back, and win anyway. Now you get Trevor Rogers on the bump at what looks like some sort of rookie situation, Mike. What's going on this afternoon?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Baltimore in this game. I like the home team. I'm not a Baltimore fan. I told you guys that here, but I can't get behind the Cardinals. And they had a great finish yesterday. I mean, they put a bunch of runs up, and then when they tied it up, I live bet the Orioles again because I just didn't see it being an opportunity for those guys to win. These were late pitching adjustments or announcements, so that's where my graphic got a little screwed up here. So I'll suppress here. But look, you put them on the road as a favorite. These guys actually do end up covering the run line. They're 44-14 in a situation where they're just going to pick on a weaker. I don't want to say a weaker opponent, but from an overall team perspective, these guys are pretty much spot on from a numbers game here. So I think Baltimore can get to this pitcher. He doesn't have a lot of experience, not a lot of looks out there. Rogers, you put him on the road against a sub 500 team, and he does his job. He's 9-1 as well. So I wanted to fade the Cardinals for a minute and a half now anyways. It doesn't take much, again, to get me there for some afternoon fadage here. I'll take the Orioles. And then, for what it's worth, 50-50-ish as far as the cash is concerned on the St. Louis Cardinals home dog spot here for a little getaway day. But that line's actually getting better. It was plus 100. It's now plus 116. Never want to be in that spot when you got coin flip money out there, and they're making it more attractive to bet the same side. So I'll take the O's. Full game.
I agree. Honestly, they changed pitchers in the last 30 minutes here. It looks like the current listed pitcher here for the St. Louis is Gordon Graceffo. I don't know where they come up with these names. I swear, it's straight out of a Will Ferrell movie. But this guy looks like he's an opener. I had written down here Cooper Hirschby, another elite name here, was supposed to make his major league debut this afternoon. Regardless, I don't care what happens, who pitches for the Cardinals. I think the Orioles win this game, Mike. We're going to collab on this one. This is a strong spot. And I think ultimately when you look at the lines in this series, let it tell you the story of what the books think of this matchup. As we've said in the last two shows, tough series due to the fact it's a one-off interleague series, but St. Louis was favored in the opening game of the series against Chris Bassett, minus 122. Obviously got blown out by 12 runs. The line actually did shift to Baltimore as a small favorite last night, minus 108. So the one-run projected win, which did come to fruition late 8-7, was the projection. Now this moves up. So you go from St. Louis, Baltimore small to Baltimore bigger. And it's Trevor Rogers. You guys got to remember, this guy pitched in the National League for the first 4 seasons of his career with the Marlins. We talk about this every day. When guys switch leagues, they do tend to shove against opponents from their previous league. It's clearly a psychological focus point. This year against the National League, 42 innings pitched, only 10 earned runs, and even better on the road. 2-0 for Rogers at National League teams. 12 innings pitched, 0 earned runs. Just zooming out, this really centered for me on the idea that the American League East is just superior to a lot of these teams in the National League. And I think ultimately Baltimore will clean them up and complete the sweep this afternoon. That's a collab, guys. If you guys are in the chat, take the Orioles. Let's cash and let's keep it moving. Next game on the card, we're going evening baseball, going back to Toronto. Game 3, final game of this series. Nope. Oh, the Yankees are ahead of my list. I got to switch off of ESPN and the preferences here. Every day, it's shifted to the top of my page. Excuse me, guys. Next game on the card, we're going back to the Bronx tonight. Astros, Yankees, game 3 of this series. Hayden Wesneski at Gerrit Cole. Interesting matchup here, Mike. I was trying to get to a side. I think the Yankees kind of confound me a little bit. Gerrit Cole against his old team. What's going on here?
Man, we have been on the overs here. The Yankees and the Astros love their overs, and they were great money again yesterday. But today I'm going to mix it up. Today, I don't agree with the price tag that they're hanging on Gerrit Cole. I get it. Is he going to go out there and have the rocker? They're showing 5.5 on a strikeout prop. So initially I looked at that and I thought, all right, well, they're not, when these guys get 6.5 and 7.5, they just, that's like the books say they're going to go out there and smash, and then they end up falling short. Well, at 5.5, it does kind of show this game could be one of those little factors where we see the under. Problem I have is the Yankees bats have gotten, they're popping again, frankly. But at this point in this of the series, I feel like this game is a lower scoring affair. I get that, Gerrit Cole, 1.82 ERA in the month of August. I mean, that's not necessarily too shabby out there, right? He's got 25 strikeouts and 24.2 innings. So he's holding them down. The problem is, I think Houston's bats have seen this guy enough. You got the wind kind of prevailing out there. And I think Gerrit Cole can leave a hanger or two that ends up getting smacked all the way to, the Statue of Liberty, I guess. So at this point here, I'm going to take a shot with this money line on the strictly. I don't want to say strictly a money line play, but dude, 144, Gerrit Cole is a minus 150. I'm not buying it, man. And I get the Yankees are rolling and they're getting back into playoff form here, but this should be a tighter affair. Wesneski on the other side of thing, Wesneski, Dude, he's like 4-1, I think, in his last 5 games on top of that. So they're picking together wins with this guy. This matchup is improperly priced. I think this is the public trap of the day. I'll take the Houston Astros.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree. As I said, tough game for me. I don't love fading Cole, as you mentioned. He's been in great form. I said it before his previous start. I was watching him pitch, and he kind of reminded me of Throwback Cole. And, of course, Throwback Cole was, too, when he pitched for the Astros pre-COVID in 2019 and 18, winning a world championship, I believe. He might have lost one. I don't even know. But regardless, I do think the motivation is there for Cole, but the matchup data is not. Crazily enough, he has not faced the Astros since the playoffs in 2022. It's been almost 4 years. And you have to remember Cole missed an entire season with an injury. And 2 seasons ago, he was actually platooned halfway. So he only pitched about a half a season. So matchup data devoid. Ultimately, he could motivate for this revenge type of spot here. Wesneski, 1 road start this month. Solid enough. Did catch a win in interleague play at San Francisco. 3 earned runs in 7. Guy's a high upside pitcher. Went to Sam Houston State, pitched for the Cubs before. Tough game for me, Mike. I would not disagree. The Astros could be scrappy here. And just shouting out the chat here, Astros following a loss at home are 8-1. They are on the road, so I'm not entirely sure if that's the correct data point there. But Stop Geo, just clarify that for us in your database. But Mike, any further comments or keep it moving?
No, let's keep it rolling.
Absolutely. Next game on the card, we're going back to Toronto tonight. Tried to get there for the second straight day before interjecting back to New York. Royals, Blue Jays, final game of this series. We told you guys a couple days ago, you're getting a lot of baseball between the Royals and the Blue Jays in the next 2 weeks. These teams do face off in Kansas City over the weekend of Labor Day. Nonetheless, we do get Cameron at Arrighetti. Arrighetti, first home start with Toronto. Mike, what's going on here?
Yeah, I told you guys yesterday it was to play on Toronto. Wasn't necessarily easy, but you know they did their job. They kind of they managed the first third of the game. They got the lead in the second third of the game, and they closed out the last third of the game. So that's baseball, boys and girls here. But you know, for me in this spot, I like Noah Cameron. Oh, Noah Cameron, the start of the year. Speaking of thirds of baseball, his first third of the baseball was puke. His middle third of the baseball was, and we'll see what his last third's doing because it's trending up. So this guy's trajectory kind of makes sense. Rookie pitcher, tape gets out on him sophomore season, and he has to deal through adversity to find his way to get to the top. On the flip side, the story of the tape for Spencer Arrighetti is he's a castaway from the island of the Astros toys here. And look at his numbers. 8.1 ERA. I mean, that's not a typo. This guy's a bag of shit. And so when you look at the numbers right now, 42% of the bets, but 51% of the cash have come in on the Royals. Numbers are doing what you would expect them to do. So first glance, you see minus 104. It's only moved to minus 105. I'm not entirely alarmed by that simply because, well, look, there's not a ton of cash coming in. It's pretty 50-50. But the big number for me, the eye-opening movement, it's gone from minus 112 to plus 104. So look, I told you guys before, you want the data point behind it. You know, it's hard. It's an infallible baseball situation here. The favored road team off a shutout in the last 22 seasons has won 61% of the time. When I tell you about these trends, it's the experience that comes back and says, man, we've seen it happen over and over and over. And now to quantify over, it's 61% in this team here. After a team gets shut out, 62%, it moves up a little bit further. I mean, look, you don't have to do much to fade the Jays and the dog roll against lefties. You're still winning at 54%. So all these numbers point to the Kansas City Royals for me.
Completely agree. The bot hat is engaged. Absolutely great handicap here, Mike. Great details, great historical data. And I saw the exact same thing when I was handicapping the game. And it really is that precise psychology. Mike, you didn't put the wizard hat on, but I'll do it for you. I'll shift it to you. Psychological wizard hat, put it on. Bang. And that's what happened. You're right. They had tape. He had a great rookie season. That is Noah Cameron. The league adjusted. But great poker players, great chess players, great baseball players, they adjust back. This guy's smart. He has made the adjustments. And since Friday, July 24th, 42 2/3 innings pitched. Guys, that's a lot of innings pitched in less than a month. Only 5 earned runs. So it's two things. It's extreme efficiency and it's extreme endurance and trust with the managers. They're letting this guy go 7, 8, and 9 innings pitched right now. He could go deep into this game. And you talk about matchup specific. He did actually face off against Toronto last year twice. Both starts, he got into the 7th inning. Both very high quality matchup data spots. And this is a great spot to fade Spencer Arrighetti, Mike, as you said. Home start 1 with Toronto. Effectively a road start. Obviously, this guy has never come out of the home clubhouse here. The only time Arrighetti's ever pitched in this stadium, this is his 3rd campaign, first 2 with the Astros. You got to go back to a game Houston played at Toronto on a weeknight back in 2024. He was absolutely terrible in this stadium, giving up 2 home runs, 6 earned runs in 4 innings pitched, 89 laborious pitches. An absolutely final point on this. When you really go through this series and this dynamic between these teams, going back over the last 3 seasons, Kansas City is actually 7-3 last 10 against Toronto and 5-2 last 7 in Toronto. So this is just deep, layered, good information. Kansas City performs great in this spot, heads up. And within this series, Toronto's actually up 6-5 in terms of the overall runs. But as you said, Mike, last night, it wasn't overly convincing. Outside of a 3-run home run, a really isolated pocket of efficiency in the 4th inning, Toronto did absolutely nothing with the bats. And in this series, Kansas City has 22 runners left on base to only 12 for Toronto. So peripheral metrics here suggest Kansas City should tee off in this matchup and take care of business here. Absolutely elite spot. I have the run line as well posted. Great split, minus 156. Mike and I were talking about this the other day as well. When you see a road favorite right around minus 105 and the run line is in that 50-point range, close to the money line, what it means is the books think the efficiency is going to win and probability to win by margin correlates. Absolutely strong spot, guys. The buy hat is engaged. Mike, any further comments or keeping it moving?
No, let's keep it going.
Absolutely. Great stuff there, guys. Put 2 units on that. It's a hell of a banger. And let's keep it moving. Next game on the card, 7:10 in Queens tonight. Brewers Mets closing up a series. Jacob Mizorowski at Sean Manaea. Mike, crazy series so far, but we have nailed both games. We told them Mets game 1. I had Brewers last night. Absolute banger. Get Mizorowski on the bump at a big number against Sean Manaea. I know your bread and butter is usually fading these guys. Can you do it tonight?
So I got a lot of free play action over there on Winnable that I put out on a daily basis. I did make it an official Milwaukee Brewers spot. So if you guys haven't checked it out at Winnable, there's some premium stuff out there. There's also a bunch of free plays out there. And typically what constitutes those processes are the ones that just miss the official board. So not necessarily, lack of confidence in the play, just that it was where the chopping line came into it. And so be it. So there you go. You can check that out and find some of that action here. But I'm not in love with this game. I'm not in love with the Brewers at this price. You guys have heard me talk about it before here. The big favorites against the Mets in the National League have won significantly this season. They're putting belt to ass 74% of the time. So, it is Sean Manaea day. And if you fade this guy, he falls under bag of shit status as well with a 15-6 run in his last 21 spots out there. I get it. I wouldn't necessarily want to back these Mets, but I'm not backing the Brewers at this price tag. It'd have to be run line, and it'd have to be 2.5 or 3.5 runs here on the Brewers. I could see that being the case, so stay tuned for later information here. I'll tell you this. When they do play the same team, right, when the Mets are playing at home, off and over against the same team, they follow up the next game under. Now, if you look at these numbers, 7.5 has gone down to 7, has gone down to 6.5. I don't think you can play the Brewers at this price tag. I think it's priced out.
Yeah, I agree. Tough game. And the price split here is telling you that story. When you see the money line here hovering around 200 and the run line is dead even, what they're telling you here is this is going to be just a really overpriced one-run projection. Manaea could perform well here. He's been inconsistent. You saw him implode in his last start in the 6th inning at Chicago. But again, zoom into that. He was great for 5 innings and then give up a couple home runs. It's going to be a low-scoring game. Manaea will compete. He didn't get beat last year at Milwaukee. Same type of situation, though. He had a lead first 5, and the Mets completely melted the game. Mizorowski did beat the Mets heads up in Milwaukee earlier this year against Freddie Peralta. Funky game, though. He only went 4 innings in the matchup. He was coming off the IL, and they really platooned his pitch count. So we haven't seen Mizorowski really perform to 7 innings of expectation against the Mets. Moral of the story here, overpriced 1-run game. Total will hover around it. Tough game, Mike, but we got a video.
It's hard not to say it, isn't it? Appreciate everybody that's tuned in to watch this show here. If you're live with us, we appreciate you vibing. If you're catching us on the replay, we thank you for doing that. Make sure you leave a comment post-show. Tell us what you like the most about the action that we have for you guys today, and we'll get back after it here with some new matchups for you here. Just a short card today, but that's where we find payday, Shark. Let's go.
Yeah, absolutely. We appreciate the likes, guys. Business, not luxury. It helps to spread the content across the internet. Next game on the card. Going back to Atlanta tonight, 7:15 national game, FS1. Dodgers-Braves closing up a series, final game of the season. Yamamoto at sale. You talk about big pitching matchups and big dynamics. Sale revenge game, Yamamoto to avoid a sweep. Mike, I haven't really had a handle on this series so far. Both games have been close and back and forth. What's going on here tonight?
I think Yamamoto fires in this game here. I was a little disappointed yesterday. I got Trented, I guess. I didn't realize, well, it's hard. You know, we got these red X's and we got some guys that are kind of notorious fades. And with due respect, when they put a parlay together, it's hard to figure out which one of those spots is going to lose, right? And we see it all the time with the UFC. And we got a fade guy that puts some straight plays out there on Twitter. But look, sucked. They tied it back up. They were down early. Then the gap got widened, got to 5-3 before they fired back. And then just lazy baseball at the end that got him across the finish line here. But look, I've said it. I'll say it again. If you're going to give me plus money on the Dodgers, I'm going to take it. And right now, I mean, we're sitting at plus 112. That's the end of the cap for me. I don't care if it's Chris Sale. I don't care if it's Jesus Christ. I'm not going to give up an opportunity for, I'd go run line, -1.5 run line for the Dodgers. Here's a great spot. You can get almost plus 200 in that situation here. Give me the Dodgers.
Yeah, I mean, I think when you get to a point with the Dodgers, you just auto buy, if I'm being honest. This has to be a Dodgers spot. And, especially when you get them in a small dog figure. And, of course, that's the Chris Sale inflation. But Yamamoto did beat the Braves in his only start last year at home, 2-1. So good matchup data, generally speaking. And, if you go through the game last night, truthfully, the Dodgers could have won that game. Anybody who watched the game, they actually had the bases loaded with nobody out. In the 7th inning, I believe, and Tucker pops out to left field. And then Alec Thomas, who just got acquired from the Diamondbacks, comes up and hits into a double play. So Mike and I have talked about the expected run projections off the record. But when you have the bases loaded and nobody out, you're supposed to score 2.3 runs on average. They got 0. And it was the Tucker story again. Hopefully he wasn't crying in the clubhouse after the game, but he really did let the team down. So the point is, they still got back to neutral, eventually got walked off in the 9th. You want to buy the data and the metrics here. This is ultimately where the Dodgers will push back. And our guy says, coulda, shoulda, woulda. Truthfully, this show, MLB Bases Loaded, is based on one thing, no excuses or complaints, but data exists. And you know what data is? It is a story. And ultimately, when you have the base loaded, you're supposed to score. It's just a fact. Supposed to score. So it's not a complaint. It's just a fact. Mike, any further comments?
I got one for you guys here. If you're in the Gematria business, I don't know if you guys get into that or not, but I always like to see where the universe intersects with life opportunities here. And unfortunately, one's life passed on January 26th in Kobe Bryant. There's 126 days left in the year. I don't know what that means, but it sounds like it's an LA Dodgers look here. So there's a little look to the world of the occult if you're going to try to use that in capping your business as well.
Yeah, I mean, Kobe's up there, and Kobe says, I am absolutely a Dodgers fan. I recall Kobe throwing out the first pitch at Dodger Stadium at least once, if not twice. I don't know if the Dodgers know that, but we know that on MLB Bases Loaded. So, Mike, I think I might
use all the angles to cap, man. You can't leave any stone unturned here as it relates to prepping for the business of the business.
I like it. I didn't know 126 was going to matter that much today, but it certainly does. It's not the 26, but Kobe's up there. He's like, yes, absolutely. Take the Dodgers, guys. I'm going to get on board. I think definitely throw a unit myself. And let's cash. Keeping it moving down the line here. Final game on the card. 9:45 out west in San Francisco tonight. Diamondbacks Giants opening up a 4-game weekend series in the division. Final 4 games of the season. And ultimately, not exactly the best game within this division, Mike. You get Landon Roop. I thought he was going to pitch yesterday. It looked like he got moved late after the show. Logan Webb did pitch yesterday. Jose Cabrera on the road bump for the Diamondbacks. What do you think about this game?
Yeah, so some of these graphics you see are obviously not accurate here, right? So Yamamoto's obviously not pitching for the Arizona Diamondbacks, as you saw with the previous one. Use that as an indicator. When I did this shit last night, they changed something between last night and today. So within the last 12 to 16 hours, something changed. And anytime you something change it, it does give me a little pause, a little stop, if you will, and not wanting to go after either the game or the side or the pitching matchup as well. So while I know clearly Yamamoto doesn't play for the Diamondbacks, that should tell you the Diamondbacks fucked around with their pitching matchup between last night and this morning. So is that a spot you want to be involved? I know if you fade Roop this season, you're 17-5, but I have this sneaky suspicion that when it comes to Roop, at the very least here, I think the Giants can hold it down. I think this can stay under. We see this happen with the San Francisco situation all the time. It's an awkward little travel spot for this. I mean, the Diamondbacks do like to score, so that's the challenge I have here. I could still see that it being an Arizona play here, but I'd go to the under. It'd be under nothing for me in this game. I mean, 8.5s, by the way, they're starting to come down to 8s, and you got a ton. Look at this. Here's the old, okay, I gave you guys the public trap of the day with the Astros. Let me give you the old head fake of the day here, and we'll talk about what this means, Sharks. 72% of the bets and 86% of the cash are on the over 8.5, okay? It opened at 8.5. With all that money coming on 8.5, which direction would you expect the line to go?
Over.
To the 9, right?
Right.
Guess what? We're seeing 8s, and then that 8.5 is now plus 113. That is what I consider a head fake. It doesn't mean that this game can't go over and see an absolute ton of runs, but with all that money coming in, 8.5s are actually steaming to the under, not the over. So keep that in mind. I do like the under 8.5 in this game. Look at you guys. You guys like some gematria on there. I appreciate that, man. I got a couple stones to overturn for you guys. Shout out to Tube, man. Appreciate you rocking in here with us in the chat. Who knew everybody likes that crazy stuff, dude?
Oh, if you don't, you're not a sports bettor. It's all interconnected. It's all the dynamics of the world. I mean, these guys are energy, and they really are. There's some predictability in it. But, speaking of predictability, second buy hat of the show, the buy hat is engaged. And
oh, boy.
Going back to Arizona here, guys, you do not back Landon Roop. They are 2-17 in his last 19 games. His only home win in the last 4 months was a game that Kevin Gausman came into this stadium and just completely shat himself. That is not the situation with the Diamondbacks. And you zoom in further. This is the 4th time this year Roop is facing the Diamondbacks in the division. It doesn't get any better than this. You never get more than 4 matchups in one season. He's 0-3, and his numbers are not very good. And this is the first time he opened as a home underdog this whole season. And he's facing a rookie pitcher. Let the books tell you this story. Why is a rookie laying to this guy when a month and a half ago he was actually minus 130 against Merrill Kelly? Mike, 2 days ago and yesterday, we were actually detailing some of these rookie pitchers with line moves that open towards them. It was Mason Adams, Rockies road, and it was also a rookie pitcher for the Astros. Both won the game. So the books have a handle on these rookie pitchers. This is just a heavy move towards the Diamondbacks, and it's a class difference in this game. The Diamondbacks are not a winning, or the Giants are not a winning ball club right now. They caught 2 wins in the previous series due to the fact that the Cincinnati Reds are absolutely abysmal. That was opponent driven. And I gave a little breakdown yesterday to the psychology of the Reds. Mike, you hit the Reds yesterday. What a win that was. 7 runs, top 9, which leads me to really the final point of this. If you wanted to buy the Giants, you bought them game 1 and 2 against the Reds, and then they caught wind yesterday, blew it. You don't come back off that fired up here in the division against the Diamondbacks team with momentum, having beaten the Cubs 2 in a row. It's momentum, Diamondbacks, better team, better coach, far better situation. And outside of all the narratives, as I said, the line agrees. You want to back these rookie pitchers when the line is on them. Very strong stuff here, guys. The buy hat is engaged. Take it late night at 9:45. Let's cash. And Mike, we got best bets.
We sure do. Shout out to you guys, man. Kazan Panic says first timer here. Well, we like to see that. Let's go, my guy. Appreciate you finding us, where we give you guys the full breakdown of the card, whether we like spots, sides, totals, props. And the best part of the show here is best bets. All right, I'm going to try to change it up a little bit here because I feel like when we collab, we're shorting you guys. So I'm going to change it up. I'm going to go Kansas City first 5 minus 125. I'm going to go Houston Astros. I'm taking that swing plus 144. And I'm going to take the LA Dodgers plus 112 for you guys. I'm going to give you a player prop too, because I don't want to leave anybody shorthanded here, right? How about this? Let's go with Wesneski. Right. I just talked about this guy for the Astros. Right. So it's not quite a double dip here from an Astros perspective. But the reason I like this guy is because I talked about the bats with the Yankees, and they're finding, pay dirt again here. They're finding bombs. Ben Rice again yesterday. But with them, swings means a lot of strikeouts. And so their strikeout rate has elevated over the last, call it 2-3 weeks. Take Wesneski over 4.5 strikeouts at plus 120. I don't think you can go wrong when you start taking plus money plays, Shark. What do you think?
No, I agree 100%. I mean, it's really crucial in baseball, particularly with no real point spreads. Win or loss, very black or white, 0 or 100 in terms of the final result. So plus money, absolutely, as a large-scale comment in the window. And speaking of that, going to give you guys a few free plays here. Taking the Rockies early, plus 131. We got the Orioles minus 117. Royals minus 105 for the game. And late night buy hat engaged, taking the Diamondbacks at plus 100. Mike, I guess probably skip the parlay today. What do you think?
Yeah, I think we kind of, with a 7 slate card, we gave you guys like 8 plays. So appreciate you guys all that have tuned in, though. Hopefully you enjoy the content. You like these things that we're doing. Shout out, reach us out, man. Hit us on the comments after the show. We definitely look for your guys' feedback to kind of guide the direction of the mothership, if you will, here. So look, you can go out there now. You want to find some new content, some exciting things going on. Ramon Scott released his FCS plays for week 2 in football. We've got ourselves college football this weekend. We got some big stuff happening. The UFC going to pop off at 3 a.m. I think it is. Excuse me. I think it's better get that right, because that's a huge hour of sleep, Shark. But stay tuned to this programming, man. We got a whole bunch of stuff in the pipeline that's going to bring you guys more live shows, more predictive pre-shows like this, that, and the other thing. And of course, my guy Shark. Package deal, my guy. We go live. We rock and roll. Appreciate you being here.
No doubt. Great stuff. About 40 minutes of 7 games, giving you guys all the details. Just looking tomorrow. Big card on a Friday, guys. Get ready to fire this weekend. And some great series. Red Sox, Yankees tomorrow night at the stadium. Terrence Skubal actually returning to Detroit tomorrow night, believe it or not, Mike. I just saw that. Wow, what a game. Dodgers tonight after that one have to travel to Detroit. Skubal, just coincidentally, the schedule played out like that at Detroit tomorrow night. But we appreciate you guys in the chat during the live every day. If you guys haven't commented during the live, we understand life is complicated and it is dense. But after the show, please drop a comment underneath the show and drop a like on X and YouTube. It helps to spread the content across the internet. That is it for this one. MLB Bases Loaded, the Thursday edition, August the 27th, 2026. For Mike, I'm the Shark. Stay fast, stay strong, stay disciplined, and let's dominate.
I'm like an addict, do I gotta have it. I ain't even playing, got a really bad habit. If it moves, gotta grab it, fuse like a magnet. Lose, won't have it till I'm doomed in a casket. I ain't playing, got a weird mind. If you work 8 hours, I'ma work 9. If the shit tastes sour, you should taste mine.